So, hello and welcome to this mini teaching, to this mini message that I've started to do. And I just want to let you know I'm broadcasting actually from my business page, Nina Kathrin, but also from my Facebook group, Wellbeing Masters. Simply because, sorry for that, simply because I didn't want to do two videos today, because sometimes I do two. And yeah, I'm just playing around with Facebook a little, so just to let you know, in case you were wondering if you see it on both channels. So first of all, let me just briefly introduce myself because, oh hi Nikki Lynn, how are you? Hey Joan, how are you guys? So amazing to see you. Yeah, I just wanted to briefly introduce myself because we've had like about 30 or so new people joining this group this week, just like in the last 2 or 3 days, which is amazing because we are doing an amazing manifesting adventure starting on Friday, this Friday the 7th at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time, which is noon Eastern Standard Time. So stay tuned for that. There's also an event that I've created in the event section. So be sure to click join the event or attend or something like that. It's completely free, but Facebook will then send you an invitation or just like a little notification when we start. So you can't miss it. So that would be really awesome. But yeah, my name is Nina Kathrin. I'm a psychic empowerment mentor and healer. And I'm super excited to come on live today. And also, if you are joining us live, just come and say hi. Let me know that you're here. And also, if you're watching the replay, then just come on and say hi. That would be really amazing. I'd love to see you and hear you and see who's there, who's joining our little community. If you're tuning in from our biz page, then do come join us in my free Facebook group, Wellbeing Masters, as well. We're doing a lot of fun stuff in there, lots of teachings, lots of channeling. Sometimes I draw cards, and I run lots of free challenges in there every once in a while. So this week as well with Manifesting Adventure. So yeah, anyone who hasn't joined, please join. It will be lots of fun, and I'll be teaching you how to manifest the fun way, the easy way, the effortless way. Because sometimes manifesting can be, we can get into that heavy energy and we can be a little bit, can feel all a bit stifled and we're trying too hard. And, I really love working with the divine feminine energies and, with flowing and with allowing. So we're going to bring a lot of aspects of that in there, so you don't want to miss it. But today's topic, just let me think whether there's anything else I should announce before we start. Just general hi, hello, and welcome to everyone new who's been joining. As I said, I've introduced myself, and probably during your time in this group, you might have already seen a few of my posts or of other people's stuff and comments, just so that you get the flair of the group a little bit better. But it's so amazing to have you here. And what I've started to do last Friday is I'll be coming on a little bit more often here in the form of a Facebook Live, so that I can actually, sorry, my phone is a little bit wobbly. Okay, just gonna leave it like that. So I'll be coming on more often for Facebook Lives, but what I will be doing, instead of teaching long chunks of lessons or sessions, I'll be teaching briefer, shorter versions that you can hopefully take away from a little bit more, because sometimes what I feel is when we go into too much detail, then even though it's really interesting and people stay on till the end, sometimes I feel that maybe not everything was kind of extracted from the session. So what I would be doing, because everyone is so busy and you want to do other stuff as well, is keep it short and sweet, as short as I can, because I like to talk and I like to help and be of service. So I have to kind of edit myself a little bit as well. But yeah, do let me know whether you like this format, the shorter sessions, and whether you benefit from that. Either now or once we've done a little bit more. So yeah, I'll probably be coming on a little bit more often this week as well, especially before we start Manifesting Adventure on Friday. So today let's talk about perseverance, because perseverance is something that we don't really talk about very often in our daily life, in personal growth, or especially in spirituality. But it is such an important concept to persevere. And you know that, especially when you've gone through a lot of adversity, a lot of challenges, a lot of periods where you had lots of emotional despair, or there was lots of stuff coming up. So sometimes we can have that feeling of just wanted to throw the towel, just want to be done with it all, and just move on into a new situation. The thing is, though, when we do that, when we actually don't really learn our lesson and extract what we needed to extract from that lesson, then it can happen that we take that energy, that stuck energy and that negative energy into the new situation. So that doesn't mean that you have to persevere everything or anything. Obviously not. You have to be aligned with the things that you are currently in, whether be it relationships, relationships with partners, with spouses, with boyfriends, with just friends in general, with girlfriends, with in the job environment, or even with clients. Obviously it has to be aligned, because otherwise it doesn't working together. So obviously, if that's not a given, then perseverance is not really relevant, because you're not meant to kind of spend time with that person or in that situation anyways. But there are other situations that we just can't escape so easily. And if we do, sometimes, as I said, we don't extract the lesson that we were supposed to learn from that. So what I would like to encourage you to do is to really see whether you are perseverant in a situation that actually is relevant for you, that you're aligned with, that might be a little bit difficult, but that you are kind of like almost like leaning towards giving up, or it could be breaking up with someone, or it could just be leaving a job, or it could just be cutting someone out of your life. And sometimes that's completely necessary, like if it's a toxic person or someone who could kind of like pulls you down consistently, then obviously that there are obviously moments where it's better to kind of call it quits. But that's not kind of like the stuff that I'm talking about. I'm more talking about when you really go through stressful times that are really taxing on your emotional body, or on your health, or on your nervous system. So in these moments when we need to extract a lesson and we don't want to bypass it or run away from it, then we just have to face it, right? We have to face it, we have to work through it. And if you have watched any of my previous videos, I give away a lot of tools and systems, and just simply ways and practices how to overcome difficult situations. So please feel free to look at any other videos that I've done in this group, or on my channels, or on my page. So there will be loads more, how is, specifically you can deal with those. But I really want to go into the energy of perseverance real quick, because like for me personally, I had to master quite a lot of perseverance in my life, and probably you have had to do the same. And sometimes we don't really look at it as a very good thing, because we feel kind of like we had been stuck in a situation, we couldn't really escape it, or we didn't really stay in a situation, or we stayed in a situation because we didn't really have another choice. So in that moment, we have mastered a lot of perseverance. And that's actually a good thing, again, as long as it's an aligned lesson that you need to learn. Because it is so important not to give up too prematurely, especially, for example, if you're building a business. In the beginning, it can be really hard. It doesn't have to be, it's a lot about your mindset as well, but it is really about finding the strength to carry on, even if times get tough, even if you feel you're not getting anywhere, even if you feel you are not getting the results or the return of investment, the clients, if it's a business, or job-wise, maybe you don't really feel you don't get enough money. And obviously that's always the point where we have to check and evaluate and see whether we are still in alignment with whatever we're doing, or whether we need to move on. And again, if it's like your business and the only option would be then to get a job, but you really, really want to have your business because you have that amazing vision of putting your mission, your life's work, your purpose into practice and serving others in whichever way, shape or form you feel is best for you and for them, and whatever lights you up. So if it's that you're unsure about, obviously then let the universe course correct you. Let divine wisdom come in, kind of tune in with your guides, or seek advice with someone that you really trust. But again, if it is something that you actually really love, that your heart is invested in it, that you started the whole thing because it was aligned with your soul, with your higher self, then perseverance is so, so, so crucial, especially in times when everything kind of seems to work against us. Because sometimes it's just that kind of like day 2 reaction where we have set out on a mission and we were really enthusiastic on day 1 and we told everyone about it. But then the shadows of day 2 come, and maybe a little bit of a reality check comes in, and it asks us, are you really sure about that? Do you really want to pursue that? And in a way, that can be a safety mechanism of the universe that tells you, you can decide, you still have your free will. Do you really want to carry on with that and see that through and go down that path, or do you want to reconsider? So in one way, that's kind of like a safety mechanism, but also a little bit of a testing and trusting by the universe. But yeah, so perseverance is really the crucial word there, and obviously it doesn't have to be the actual day 2. It's just like literally like a representative kind of time frame, and it could be anything from hours, days, weeks, months, or years, maybe even. But hopefully not years and not months, but you get the gist. So perseverance is so, so, so important. Perseverance is important when we go through our life's lessons, because it can be really heavy and it can be really tearing us down in a way a little bit, and it can be really frustrating. So we need to master a lot of perseverance. And perseverance for me, in a way, is not necessarily that heavy energy, that forcing and that pushing energy. It is more of that bringing in that light energy and seeing the positive in situations, even if they are difficult and tough. And so perseverance for me is more, you could actually give a more of a positive notion to this word, because it usually has a bit of a negative one. But when we speak about perseverance, I really want you to see it also from this positive side, that it doesn't have to be all of this pushing and forcing and you kind of like pushing your head through the wall, and in that kind of like heavy forcing work energy. So that is something that I would really, really would like you to contemplate, and also ask yourself, where am I perseverant, and where does it serve me to be so, and where does it not serve me to persevere and to keep going and to to do the thing that I've been doing. And again, sometimes what we need is course correcting. So it's not that we just throw the towel and we're off out of this situation or relationship or whatever it is. Sometimes we really just need to tackle it from a different way. Sometimes we just need to bring in a different energy. Usually it's a lighter energy. It's a more loving energy usually. And you can apply this to any difficult situation across the board, to any situation that you feel you persevere a little bit too much. Bring love into the whole game. Layer love on top as this beautiful frequency that you have always access to, because you are pure positive bliss by nature. You're that one infinite creator consciousness. if you really want to go into, self-realization. And it's always good to have that in the back of your mind, because when we take too many cues from reality, then it can get overwhelming, and then we have difficulties persevere and really get to where we want to be and really reap the results that we want to reap, because we give in too early, we give up. And the reason I want to talk with you about that as well is that a lot of people have identified a very strong sense of perseverance in me. And I have really started to learn to love that, because when I first heard it, that people are like, oh, you never give up, or, that's one of your fortes in terms of like characteristics or personality traits. It sounds great, but sometimes it's not like, sometimes I wish it would be something else. But I have actually really, really learned to embrace that, especially now that I work with clients, and have been for quite a time now, and that really reflects in my business, because I just don't give up so easily, even if times are tough. Like, just to give you an example from my life, just to make that a little bit more relatable, because that subject has maybe been a little bit abstract, and I want you to be able to relate that and, maybe put it into perspective, this kind of perseverance theme with your life and with your everyday challenges. So for me, I was working a lot on growing my business, and really, starting out as a psychic and really kind of embracing my gifts, starting last year and especially throughout the first half of this year. And I was really embracing that, and I was giving a lot of things out for free, and that was all really, really amazing. And then I was getting into creating challenges, free challenges or free experiences, and it was amazing. I got amazing feedback, and it was so much fun, and I really felt I was serving people. When I got the feedback, what changed in people's lives, that was really, really amazing to see that I actually make a difference with the stuff that I'm passionate about and that I would like to talk about. And then there came a time when I was doing more courses, I was offering more programs and different just kind of offerings, and there was lots of time frames to kind of like keep within, and deadlines to kind of like look into, and a lot of things had a date on it. There was certain dates for my challenges and all of that, but then a lot of health issues came up in my family, and my parents had to go to hospital several times, and it was all quite a very, very difficult time to work, to build up my business, to serve clients, and also to give out free stuff, and come on to teach and do free challenges and run workshops, free or paid, and to still have like a tiny little bit of social life as well. And in that time, I really learned to persevere, and part of it really was a very tough time. It was very challenging, and luckily I was able to lean into my guides and into my higher selves, because we are always supported. You are always supported, and you're always loved no matter what. So that's important to know as well during those really difficult times where perseverance is so difficult to master, but you just have to, in a way. So, in that sense, like, I could have given up at that point, because it really felt difficult at times. It really felt difficult to remain sane while still doing all of the stuff I had to do with timelines, but also family-wide, going back and forth to hospitals, and also still working on myself and working through stuff that I needed to work through, because even when we're spiritual teachers or mentors or coaches or psychics, we always as well go through our own stuff. And there's never a time when we stop doing that, in a broader sense, because then we would not be on 3D Earth anymore, right? Because that's why we're here, to work through stuff, to grow, to expand, to live in joy and bliss. But also, it is really, really important to realize and to make sure that we don't always just see the negative in situations and challenges, because then it can get really difficult to keep your perseverance high, to keep your motivation and inspiration high. It is really important to bring it back to your why. Like, why am I doing that? And for me, a lot of that comes back to kind of like my core purpose, which is ever expanding, as it is for everyone anyways. But it is really, for me personally, about serving humanity, serving others, to really raise their frequency, raise their consciousness, raise their vibration, open up their consciousness, and really see who they truly are. Like, that's really one of my big whys, and really make it, you know, a massive, monumental, if possible, impact on this earth, so that, you know, we can end suffering. We can really move into that more, you know, in the olden days, they refer to things like that as the golden area. And, you know, some people say in 2032 we will be, at that point, we will have raised our consciousness that we can move into 5D. And I feel that one of my purposes is really help people get there as well, whilst I'm growing myself too. So that's just, you know, that's just what I wanted to share about myself. And you have just equal amounts of motivation and inspiration and purpose and value behind what you're doing. You just need to, you know, find it and, you know, integrate it and align with it, with you know, whatever it might be for you. Could be totally different from my kind of motivations. And, you know, there are no right and wrongs as long as it's, you know, aligned with you. And sometimes when we live that, when we go that path, when we choose that path, we need a lot of perseverance. So I would like you, yes, to persevere when things are aligned with you, when you feel you're doing a massive service to the world with what you're doing or what you're about to do, but also not to see it as this difficult challenge, but really bring in the lightness. And I will be doing much more content on this, and much more teachings. And, you know, these kind of teachings combined with a divine feminine energy will also be part of one of my next upcoming programs, which I can't really tell a lot about yet because I'm still at the very beginning of doing it. But it will be very amazing, and it will be really full of divine feminine energy. So, you know, just, you know, don't kind of like suffocate the energy, your motivation, your inspiration with the heaviness of perseverance. Really change around. And that's kind of like what I'm getting from my guides now as well, to really kind of insist, almost not insist, but, you know, kind of like get you to see that perseverance is not necessarily something that you're forced into, or that you have to do something that, you know, you're forcing against something. It is more like to allow and to breathe into it, and to see that it's absolutely okay, no matter where you are right now. You're exactly where you need to be. And to see perseverance just as, you know, this kind of trusting and testing process of the universe. Again, as long as what you're doing is aligned with you, with your higher self, with your soul. And if not, then obviously get out of the situation, right? So, but if that's not the case, if it's really something you're meant to do and it's proven difficult, then, you know, evaluate it, feel into it. Are you still in the energy, in the right energy, in the aligned energy? Does something need to be tweaked, or do you maybe need to change? Do you maybe need to release something, or overcome a certain amount of resistance? And Nadia's joining. Hi, love. How are you? I just wanted to say that I'm not really sure whether my comments are working, because I only see like one or so. And I'm not really sure, because sometimes, actually most of the times, Facebook only shows me comments, or like part of the comments only like after I've already kind of closed the live. So if I don't see your comment, then I'm sorry. And if it's a question, then please tag me and just post it again. So that's a little bit of my thread now, but I'll get back into it. So yeah, really reframe your attitude towards perseverance. Really see the value of what you're doing, the service that you're doing to yourself and to others, depending on what it is. And oftentimes, even if we just do something for ourselves, if there's a goodwill behind, if we do it for the highest good, then usually it will benefit others around us, at least, in some way, shape or form. So it's never kind of lost anyway in the big picture. And yeah, so I know that perseverance is a big word for me, it's a big concept for me, and a big energy that I really do embody a lot. And my clients know that, like, as long as I'm working with a client whom I'm aligned to work with, whom I'm supposed to work with, I would never ever give up on them. And my clients feel that, and they know that they will always stick to them as long as they need my help. And you know, it's, I would never kind of like just ditch a client, or it's, you know, the same with my business. I would just not kind of like just throw it away just on a whim, simply because I feel unwell with it, or, you know, I have not really gotten where I wanted to go. There might always be changes and, you know, maybe twists and turns depending on where your purpose is moving and where, you know, your higher self is aligned to move. So there's always, of course, that wiggle room, right? And also you have always free will. But that is one of my big, you know, strong points, is really have that perseverance with what I'm doing, as long as I'm aligned to do with that. So, you know, I ask you, what is your strong point in life? What is your forte? Where are you really good at? And then also, again, look at things in your life. Where have you shown perseverance in the past? Where are you showing perseverance now? And is that perseverance serving you? Or is that perseverance not serving you, and you might have to take a decision? You might maybe take a different turn or tweak something. So really look at that and see whether the energy needs to be shifted, so that you can actually continue to do it, instead of moving completely away from something that might have a lot of value in it, but as it currently is, it might not be ideal for you, or it might not be aligned. So actually, that's where I want to leave it. If you have any questions, then please do let me know. Again, if I don't see it, if I don't, you know, answer your question, then please just repost it and tag me, and I will see it afterwards then, hopefully, because Facebook does that weird stuff where, you know, it doesn't show me everything. But I hope that this video really served you, and I hope that inspired you to show this kind of like more positive, more reflamed perseverance in your life, in your business, in working with clients, in your job, maybe in your manifesting game, in whatever you're doing, in whatever is important for you, where maybe you have had a little period of, oh, you know, maybe my enthusiasm is not so good anymore, or I don't know, I feel the air is a little bit kind of like worn off in some kind of situation. So if it still matters to you, how can you persevere? But how can you persevere in a way that doesn't harm you, that doesn't take away your energy? How can you persevere in a way that's aligned with you and that you actually thrive in? So bring in that lighter energy, bring in your guides, bring in maybe the goddesses, you know, whoever you're working with, or just ask your higher self, or just ask in general. So yeah, that's what I want to leave you with. And again, please remember, we have an awesome manifesting adventure coming up on Friday. And if there's anything else you would like to know about it, do let me know. If you are one of the people who really resonates with the way that I teach and would like some personal guidance with me, I currently offer my Syrian source healing, which is a really exceptional healing modality with 3 stages. It is a detoxification, kind of like a deep tissue, deep energetic thalasso therapy to rejuvenate you and detox you. And then we bring in beautiful Syrian source, Syrian Stargate energy. And we also do a proper source upgrade. Source will do an upgrade with you, with your energy, and there will also be a healing. It is a full-on session. It's 60 minutes, around 60 minutes. And there's also some channeling at the end, depending on what you need specifically for your challenge at the moment, or for what you're going through. And you can find out more in the announcement sections of this group under Syrian Source Healing, or you can just type in the search bar of this group, Syrian Source Healing. I've done a couple of posts on it. It's really, really amazing. The cost of it is $300. It's really worth its money because it's very deep, it's very amplified. It is kind of this full body, full energetic detox and upgrade. And kind of like really kind of this kind of complete overhaul. So I've had really amazing reviews, or if you're someone who wants more one-on-one work on a regular basis, I still have some limited spots on my VIP program, and you can also find more information in the announcement sections. Or for both, if you need any more information, you can simply just ask me, PM me, send me a question, and I can let you know and hook you up. So I hope you enjoyed this mini teaching. I'm gonna hop off now, and I will see you probably at some point this week. And if not, I'm definitely gonna be seeing you on Friday for the manifesting adventure. So stay tuned, have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.